therapeutic communications, history audio recordings. Patient is Mr. Rogers. Complaint is general weakness. This is Connor Meadows, December 14th, 2018. Hello, my name is Connor. I am an EMT with the Charleston Fire Department. I'm here to help you. At this time, I will close the distance with the patient and smile so they know I am not a threat. I will also attempt to do the paramedic handshake. Sir, can you tell me your name? The patient gives me his name. What's going on today that made you call an ambulance? The patient then tells me his chief complaint. Action. I continue to smile and stay within close proximity to the patient, allowing them to realize I am there to help them and glad to be of assistance. Sir, I'm going to ask you some silly questions, but they are important in helping me make sure there aren't any other things going on. Can you tell me where you are, what city you are in, what year it is? Action. This allows me to verify that the patient is alert and oriented. I have also now been able to determine responsiveness and level of consciousness. At this time, I'll begin my OPQ-RST sample history, all that is applicable for Mr. Rogers' general weakness complaint. Thank you for answering those questions, Mr. Rogers. Can you tell me how long you've been feeling weak like this? Patient states weakness has been present for 2 days. Sir, is there anything that you can think of that might have made you feel more exhausted than usual? The patient states that he was mowing his grass 2 days ago in the heat. Okay, Mr. Rogers, I understand. If you don't mind, can I ask you a few more questions while we get you loaded onto our cot and put in the back of the ambulance? The patient has previously stated that he wished to be taken to the hospital, and he's already had his first set of vitals taken. Mr. Rogers, can you tell me about your medical history and what medications you take? The patient answers. Thank you, sir. Can you tell me if you're allergic to any medications? This will help me and the doctors and nurses at the hospital. The patient answers. Mr. Rogers, do you remember the last time you ate or drank anything before calling 911 today? The patient answers. Can you describe in any further detail what the conditions were like before you became weak after mowing your grass? Do you remember if you were well hydrated that day or having any symptoms before or during your outdoor activity? The patient answers. Mr. Rogers, can you tell me if you drink alcohol or smoke or take any other drugs that aren't prescribed to you? The patient answers. Okay, Mr. Rogers, thank you for answering all my questions. We will be at the hospital in a few minutes. Before we get there, is there anything else you can think of that you should tell me about why we took you to the hospital today? The patient states he cannot think of anything else about his medical history or chief complaints that would add to what he has already said. That's the end.